Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Keir Starmer has urged Putin to agree to the US-mediated ceasefire proposal to achieve a just and lasting peace in Ukraine. To bring Putin to the negotiation table, European countries have promised to continue increasing pressure on him.
Keep the military aid flowing to Ukraine and keep tightening the restrictions on Russia's economy to weaken Putin's war machine and bring him to the table. And we agreed to accelerate our practical work to support a potential deal. So we will now move into an operational phase.
On March 15th, an online meeting of world leaders took place with around 25 European countries participating. During the World Tour Summit of the Coalition of the Willing, initiated by Prime Minister of the United Kingdom Keir Starmer, discussions focused on issues related to Ukraine. President of Ukraine Volodymyr Zelensky during the video conference called on allies to use global connections to achieve peace.
The path to peace must begin unconditionally. And if Russia doesn't want this, then strong pressure must be applied until they do. Moscow understands one language. I ask you to talk to America, to President Trump, to help bring peace faster. This can happen through full sanctions, strong pressure, forcing Russia to make peace. Peace is possible. It's possible when we all work together for peace, for security guarantees, for ensuring that the aggressor gains nothing from this war. Thank you so much. Thank you for your support.
Chancellor of Germany Olaf Scholz stated that Russia must now take steps toward a ceasefire as Ukraine needs a just and lasting peace. Meanwhile, President of Finland Alexander Stubb believes that Russia is attempting to play a prolonged game and does not want peace.
His fundamental goal, namely the destruction of Ukraine's independence, sovereignty, and territorial integrity, has not changed at all. Hopefully, we can continue the pressure from the West that forces Russia to cease fire. Alexander Stubb, President of Finland, from the Wiley message.
The Kremlin may disrupt or at least delay negotiations on the 30-day ceasefire by spreading disinformation about alleged war crimes by the Ukrainian armed forces in the Kursk region. This conclusion was made by analysts at the Institute for the Study of War. Specifically, Russian dictator Putin, representatives of the Russian government, state propaganda media and pro-Kremlin bloggers have recently intensified accusations against the Ukrainian armed forces, accusing them of alleged war crimes during their 7-month operation in the Kursk region.
Putin likely intends to use this narrative, falsely portraying Ukrainian forces as brutal war criminals, as the Kremlin did in late 2021 and 2022, to justify Russia's full-scale invasion of Ukraine as the action of a merciful leader. From the Institute for the Study of War report,
on March 13, President of US Donald Trump stated that if Russia does not agree to a 30-day ceasefire, it will be an unfortunate moment for peace. According to him, the ceasefire is the first stage of negotiations. President of France Emmanuel Macron urged Moscow to respond clearly in ceasefire negotiations, stating Russia does not appear to be sincerely seeking peace.
It is intensifying the fighting. President Putin wants to obtain everything, then negotiate. Our strategy of peace through force is at stake now. If we want peace, Russia must respond clearly and the pressure must be clear, in conjunction with the United States, to obtain this ceasefire. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, from a BFM TV publication.
While claiming readiness for a ceasefire, Russia continues to terrorize the Ukrainian population, shelling peaceful cities and villages. In the past week alone, Russia's army launched over 1,020 strike drones, around 1,360 guided aviation bombs, and more than 10 missiles of various types across Ukraine. 11 regions of Ukraine were targeted, hundreds were injured, and several dozens were killed. Reported by Alexandra Zaslavets, Natalia Husak, Volodymyr Shtengelov, UATV News.
Following negotiations between Ukrainian and US delegations in Saudi Arabia, Ukraine has moved closer to achieving a just peace. EU countries have expressed their readiness to play a full-fledged role alongside their partners in future peace talks. Turkey has also signaled its willingness to contribute to peace efforts in Ukraine. This was stated by Turkish President Recep Tayyip Erdogan following his meeting with Polish Prime Minister Donald Tusk.
We consider Ukraine's acceptance of a ceasefire in negotiations with the US to be a positive and important step. We now hope that Russia will respond constructively. If recent developments bring Russia and Ukraine back to the negotiating table, we are ready to contribute to establishing a just and lasting peace, including hosting talks.
Meanwhile, US military aid to Ukraine resumed via a logistical hub in Poland immediately after the negotiations. This was confirmed by Polish Foreign Minister Radosław Sikorski. During his visit to Warsaw following the Jeddah talks, Ukrainian Foreign Minister Andriy Sybiha discussed the operation of US Starlink systems in Ukraine with Polish officials.
We are grateful for the support and the opportunity to use Starlink, as Poland has spent approximately $200 million on this. This is vital for our military.
French President Emmanuel Macron, one of the authors of a multinational peacekeeping mission in Ukraine, emphasized that peace depends entirely on Russia, while security guarantees remain a top priority for Ukraine. Earlier, representatives of defense ministers from 34 countries gathered in France to discuss strengthening Europe's defense capabilities and continuing support for Ukraine.
I welcome the progress made during the discussions between the United States of America and Ukraine held today in Jeddah, particularly regarding the idea of a possible 30-day ceasefire. The ball is now clearly in Russia's court. France and its partners remain committed to a solid and lasting peace, supported by robust security guarantees for Ukraine. Emmanuel Macron, President of France, on social network X.
The UK and France are currently working on a plan to deploy peacekeeping forces in Ukraine if an agreement to suspend hostilities is reached.
Уже сейчас мы можем говорить о том, что это будут французы.
We can already confirm that French, British and Danish forces will be involved, and discussions are underway regarding participation from other Scandinavian countries. Romania and Poland have also expressed willingness to provide bases and logistics for these missions. It is significant that concrete discussions are taking place about who will be on the ground and who will oversee aerospace security.
European Commission President Ursula von der Leyen and European Council President Antonio Costa hailed the Ukraine-US negotiations as a positive step toward a lasting peace. EU High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy Kaja Kallas stressed the importance of the humanitarian aspects of the talks.
I welcome the U.S.-Ukraine talks in Jeddah, notably regarding a ceasefire and resumption of U.S. intelligence and security assistance to Ukraine, but also in humanitarian field. The ball, as always, is in Russia's court. The EU will do its full part to achieve a just and durable peace. Kaja Kallas, European Union High Representative for Foreign Affairs and Security Policy, on social network X.
On March 15, the UK Prime Minister will convene European leaders supporting Kyiv to discuss peacekeeping efforts aimed at deterring the Kremlin's aggression against Ukraine. According to Reuters, citing UK government spokesperson Dave Paris, this meeting will be a continuation of the London summit, where the UK leader announced the formation of a coalition of the willing. Reported by Katerina Bastun, Victoria Smirnova, UATV News.